So this weekend we have a massive relegation scrap with this weekend's set of fixtures for match day 36 in the Scottish Premiership between St Johnstone and Ross County, but we will also be predicting the rest of the fixtures as well. But this one is by far the biggest fixture of the weekend. St Johnstone win it. They're right back in the fight to potentially save their lives within the two games. Anything less than a win for St Johnstone, and they would need a miracle to pull it off. But a loss for St Johnstone and a Ross County win here would secure St Johnstone's relegation to the Championship, seeing them being replaced by Falkirk next season. And a win for Ross County, of course, would give them massive hope that they would avoid the playoffs for the third season running as well. But we are, of course, here to predict not just that one fixture, but all of the fixtures for this weekend's Scottish Premiership action. So let's get straight into it. Starting off with Celtic versus Hibs. Celtic, of course, already champions. Scottish Cup final on the horizon. So I'm not too sure what to expect from Celtic's games for the remainder of the season. Of course, you don't want to go into a final on a losing streak or anything like that, but I'm not too sure what to expect from Celtic's games for the remainder of the season, like I said, because of the fact that the cup final's coming up and they have already secured the title. Possibly some rotation, James Forrest, everybody's making a big deal about him getting that goal to have him score in every single season that he has played in. Hibs, of course, will have massive motivations to take something from this game. They took big strides last weekend towards third place, but they'll want to secure it as quickly as possible to not have a last-minute bottle job or anything like that. So Hibs will have great motivation to win this game. Celtic, of course, will want to maintain some momentum, like I said, but I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this fixture. Dundee United faces St Mirren. St Mirren have kept their European hopes alive with a couple of sets of results, which I never thought I'd be saying. I thought 6th place was going to be just 6th place, and Dundee United haven't had the best time of it so far in the split. And if they lose here, they'll be a little bit nervy, I would say, for getting that European place, and St Mirren will be licking their lips. This one, tough one to call, actually. I'm going to go for the quote-unquote bottle job, if you like, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 St Mirren win here. Hearts versus Motherwell, perhaps the most meaningless game of the weekend, because both sides getting their wins last weekend. Motherwell have secured their place in the league for next season 100%. They can't finish low enough now to even be in the playoffs. Hearts basically secured it. It would be very unlikely for them not to be in the league next season now, at least finishing any lower than 10th anyway. Hearts might want to be in the situation where they're proving themselves to the current interim manager Liam Fox and whoever's going to come in to go, I want to stay next season, so I am going to give Hearts the edge, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 Hearts win here because of that. Kilmarnock versus Dundee, massive game as well in terms of trying to get as far away from that playoff spot as possible for both teams. Both teams obviously too high up to go straight down, but they want to avoid that playoff position at the end of the season as quickly as possible. Kilmarnock at home though, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 Kilmarnock win. The game that has the biggest bearing on the season, of course, that I was talking about at the start of the video, St Johnstone against Ross County. Do St Johnstone win and keep their season alive for a little bit longer and the hope alive, or do Ross County kill it right here and then? I don't know. I'm going to go for a draw, a 1-1 draw. So St Johnstone will not mathematically be gone, but it will be all but over. And then Ross County will be in danger of finishing in that 11th place once again. So I'm going to go for that 1-1 draw. And final game of the match day, we have Rangers against Aberdeen, of course. Likewise to Celtic, Rangers' season is over. Well, I say likewise to Celtic. Celtic have got the cup final. And Aberdeen, of course, trying to rectify that result against St Mirren last weekend and keep their push for third alive, which they'll be disappointed in beating Hibs and then losing to St Mirren definitely from that. So, and they'll also want to try and rectify last time out against Rangers where they bottled the 2-0 lead. So I'm going to go, and then obviously we have that hoodoo as well that Rangers will want to break. That'll maybe be a bit of motivation to finally get a win at Ibrox under Barry Ferguson. And I think, what is it, they haven't won at Ibrox since February or something like that as well. So they'll want to see if they can rectify that against Aberdeen at the weekend. So both teams, Rangers have a bit of motivation to win, but I think Aberdeen have a little bit more motivation to win. Does that mean they'll win it? I'm going to go for another draw, actually. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw, again, similar to the Celtic and Hibs game. So a few draws this weekend. I know that might seem a bit of a cop-out, but I'm just not too sure how this weekend's games are going to go. That's going to wrap it up for the Match Day 36 prediction video. Thank you very much to all the new viewers and subscribers on the channel. If you are new around here, please check out some of the other content on the channel, particularly if you're a Scottish football fan, the Scottish football content and the SPFL RTG as well. We're fast approaching 900 subs, which is incredible, which means we're also approaching 1,000 subs, which is absolutely unbelievable. So thank you very much for that. Please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.